trip starts on July 2023 on a Thursday the 20th. This trip would take me from Los Angeles, California to Des Moines, Iowa, about 1,682 miles or 26 hours straight driving. 26 hours of non-stop driving pretty much canceled my thoughts of driving to Des Moines. I mean, I think I could do it, but there was always that fear of contracting TB, tired butt. I thought about going by train. It would take a few days, but it would be nice and relaxing. But then, on the other hand, maybe not so relaxing. Then I thought about picking me up one of those leather jackets and jetpacks and actually flying to Des Moines. I knew that if I were to show up in Des Moines flying in like this, my friends would be so jealous of me. Then I found out there was no such thing as a flying jacket, so that canceled that out. So, it looked like I'd be flying to Des Moines the conventional way, but as long as I got there, I would be happy. You see, I wasn't going to the up-and-coming city of Des Moines just to experience the culture of the Midwest. I was going there to celebrate my 50th high school reunion. Wow, just saying that makes me feel old. The only other time I'd been back to Des Moines was 5 years ago for my 45th high school reunion. What little I remember of it was a lot of fun, and I was hungover for 3 days, and I sure didn't want to miss out on that kind of fun. It's a little after 5 a.m. I'm at the Hollywood Burbank Airport. The one thing I like about this little airport is the fact you still walk out on the tarmac to enter the plane. Pretty cool. Now, if the planes had props instead of engines, it would be right out of the movie Casablanca. But yeah, and one more thing.
He's looking at you, kid.
We had a smooth takeoff, and soon we were gaining altitude over the massive buildings and houses that make up Los Angeles. In what seemed like a short time, the flight attendants and chefs were scurrying around the cabin serving our morning meal. And here it is, a scroll-sized bag of snack mix and a small cup of soda. I got Dr. Pepper because I felt it was so misunderstood. I couldn't find a direct flight from Burbank to Des Moines, so I had to settle for a 3-hour layover in Denver. It sounded like a long time, but give me time to grab some lunch and do a little looking around the airport. I got a kick out of riding the pedestrian tramway, and here's a little artwork that was found in the airport. Back up in the air, it is very cloudy out. Not much of a chance to see anything up here now. You know, maybe it's a good time to take a nap. After some time, we were finally coming into the Des Moines International Airport. Steady. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it like a newborn baby. Hold it. Touchdown. Well, what do you know? I was finally in Iowa. Damn. Rookie mistake. I've been gone for too long. After checking into my motel, I headed out into the country. After driving past endless fields of corn, I came to the little town of Slater. And there I pulled up to the little restaurant, Cole's Sandwich and Ice Cream Shop. I had read that they were famous for their tenderloin sandwiches, and I had to give it a try. I can't seem to find tenderloin sandwiches in Los Angeles, and this one didn't let me down. It was your typical Iowa huge tenderloin. Look at the size of this thing. It's bigger than my head. Next, I drove over to the town of Madrid to hike the special high trestle bridge there. Now hold on there a second. I can hear you giggling out there like a bunch of adolescent boys making farting sounds with their armpits. I know what you're thinking to yourself. The big oaf doesn't even know how to pronounce the town right. Well, trust me, I'm from Iowa and it's pronounced Madrid, not Madrid. Boy, don't you feel embarrassed now. But don't worry about it. If you should have to pronounce the name of the town wrong, someone will patiently correct you in that special, calm, Iowa way.
Look, I'm going to pronounce it the way I want to, and I say it's Madrid.
It's Madrid.
Okay, Madrid sounds good.
Once you get to the parking lot, you have an easy mile walk to this amazing trestle bridge. This 10-foot wide bridge was set up for bikers and hikers to cross the Des Moines River a whopping 23 stories below. During the daylight hours, the bridge is really something to see, but when dusk comes, a part of it is lit up with blue lights, making it like some kind of portal from the movie Tron. Whatever you do, just make sure you hang around until it's dark out. If looking down the tunnel of lights doesn't give you a flashback, then you weren't a real hippie from the 60s. The next morning found me at Railroad Bill's Dining Car. What a great name. Great place to get some great food and breakfast. Trust me when I say they make an excellent biscuits and gravy. Now I was off to find the sculpture of all sculptures, the mother of all monuments, the holy grail of statues. And it was located right here in Des Moines. Something that when you see it, you automatically think of that city. Paris has the Eiffel Tower, Florence, the Statue of David, Philadelphia, the Love Monument, and in Des Moines, it's the Anderson Erickson cow mascot. The 14-foot Guernsey cow, named Annie, weighs a whopping 2,500 pounds. The calf, called Eric, weighs 200 pounds and is the size of a full-grown cow. After that, I headed over to take a look at the Iowa State Capitol building. I might be a little prejudiced on this matter since I was born in Iowa, but is there a better looking Capitol building than this one? On the grounds is this miniature Statue of Liberty, donated by the Boy Scouts of America in 1950. Construction on the Capitol building finished in 1886, and it's the only 5-dome Capitol in the country. The central dome is gold-leafed and is 275 feet tall. Also on the grounds is this famous statue of Lincoln and Tad. Gee, I wonder what book they're bonding over. Now let's go inside and take a look around. Now I went by myself and walked around, but if you want, there are also free self-guided and formal tours available Monday through Saturday. An informative tour sounded very tempting, but I was limited to the time that I had. This is a shot looking up into the dome at the statues and artwork inside of it. Looking straight up into the dizzying heights of the dome. The date's 1861 to 1865, commemorating the Civil War. After that, I stopped by to see an old neighbor and her husband. Trust me when I say they rolled out the red carpet for me. They really knew how to make me feel at home. That's my old neighbor, Kathy Reeves, on the right, and her husband, Denny, on the left. Anytime you treat me to pastries and coffee, you've got a friend for life. After that, I swung by my old high school to take a look at it. Good old North High. I remember the 3 years I was incarcerated. When I went to school there. And naturally, with a name like North High, we were known as the Polar Bears. I bet there aren't too many high schools with mascots like that. Before leaving, I searched the furthest parts of my memory and hummed the school fight song. That's right, I hummed it. I hummed it because I couldn't remember the damn words to the song. Hey, 50 years is 50 years. But I did put a lot of spirit into that humming. I just remember the song going something like this. Next, I headed to downtown Des Moines to see the Iowa Women of Achievement Bridge. That's the Iowa State Capitol in the distance. This bridge is for pedestrian and bicycle use only. Directly behind me was this artwork. Can you tell what it is? It's a fishing bobber in the water. After crossing the bridge, I found this Chinese pagoda. Here's a telephoto of the artwork on the roof. The weather looked like it was starting to change for the worse, so I headed back to my car. Besides, I was getting hungry and ready to get something to eat. So I headed over to Zombie Burger and Drink Lab in downtown Des Moines to get a bite to eat. I had been there 5 years before on my last visit, but with a name like that, you know I had to eat there again. This is a fun place to visit. The restaurant is decorated in what I like to call early 21st century Living Dead chic. Lots of clever decorations. This looks like Negan's bat, Lucille, from the show The Walking Dead, and some of his trophies. And the fun doesn't stop there. Take a look at this menu and the names for all the different hamburgers served there. Damn, they all look good. Seems how it's a zombie burger, I'm assuming there are brains on the menu. But I was really hungry for a burger. After a lot of hemming and hawing, I finally flipped a coin and went with the 28 Days Later burger. I think it was the blue cheese and caramelized onions that won me over. Here's a shot of the hamburger, and great tasting doesn't even begin to describe how delicious those fries were. After eating all that good food, I figured it might be a good idea for me to visit the head. I didn't want any accidents later on. Finding the restroom was as easy as eating brains. Just follow the walking zombie signs. It was a nice clean restroom, but while I was in there, I had the strangest feeling that someone, or something, was watching me. My last stop for the day was going to be at the old Riverview Park. When I was a kid growing up, this had been a small amusement park, and sure enough, there was a sign for the Wild Mouse. The Wild Mouse was one of those herky-jerky up and down rides that made the roller coaster seem like as exciting as watching wet paint dry. If you rode the Wild Mouse without shitting your pants, you walked off that ride with your brass balls clanging. So the amusement rides were no more, but it was Friday night and there would be entertainment. Tonight's band would be the Punching Pandas. I was there to hear the band and to meet up with some of my old high school graduate friends. The actual reunion was tomorrow night. Tonight was just a chance to get together, listen to some music, drink some beer, and have a good time. The Punching Pandas started playing, and sure enough, four of my friends popped up. Was it to see me, or were they drawn to the camera like moths to a flame? Anyway, from left to right, they are Linda Brown Hershey, Tim Hodges, Janet Bogenreef Edwards, and Gary Knudsen. Yeah, I was just thinking, I've probably got a dozen really embarrassing stories I could tell about each one of those people right there. Hey, but don't worry about it, I'm not going to do that. I'm not the kind of guy who would spill the beans on his good friends. I'm so embarrassed. I brought my cell phone specifically to take pictures of all my friends there. And then I was so excited to see them that I forgot all about it. As soon as I say that, here comes Dave McCombs wandering into the picture. I can't tell if that's a beer or a tall glass of milk. About that time, I got a nice surprise and ran into my cousin, Don Erickson, better known as T-Bone, and his girlfriend, Connie. In this picture, they were about to play rock, paper, scissors to see who was going to be the designated driver. Here's a good picture of me and T-Bone together. We made plans to get together for several days while I was back in Des Moines. Even though it was the band's last set, the people were still rocking hard, especially that person rolling in the grass. I sure would like to know what he had been smoking. Anyway, it had been a full day, and I was ready to make my departure.